Good morning, good afternoon, selamat siang, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Regional Water Talks Indonesia session. Our topic today is Indonesia's coastal reservoir development and strategy, sponsored by Zoom Lion and broadcasted by Pamerindo Indonesia, a part of Informal Markets. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. May peace be upon you. My name is Dian Prastiawati, and I'll be your host and moderator for today. We have just a few announcements before we begin. A little housekeeping. Host will mute your audio and camera. All of today's session will be recorded. And for questions, please use Q&A button to type your question. Mention which speaker your question is for. You can also submit your question in Bahasa Indonesia, and I will help translate your question for you. And if you have further questions, submit your inquiries to the email address hanung@pamerindo.com. So now, next, we can move on to our today's session's topic, Indonesia's coastal reservoir development strategy. A brief introduction: as the fifth largest country in terms of water resources, Indonesia still faces fundamental challenges in water availability. We have a huge population and threats posed by climate change. There's a strict mitigation plan to secure its water resources. No less than 90% of water are used to meet the needs of agriculture, and 10% are used to meet domestic fisheries and industry. Now, in this water talk session, we will be elaborating what are the strategies needed for Indonesia's coastal reservoir development. And in this session, we'll bring two subtopics of Indonesia's readiness in coastal development, current challenges, and coastal reservoir development to secure water availability and create sustainability. Our first topic, I will briefly introduce you to our speaker, will be brought by Professor Dr. Insinyur Eko Winar Irianto. Our second speaker is Hajat Widakdo Asud MM, and our third speaker will be Mr. Herb Boris from AVK Vision. Our speaker today, first speaker, Professor Dr. Insinyur Eko Winar is the Director of Technical Development of Water Resources, is from the Directorate General of Water Resources, Ministry of Public Works and Housing, Indonesia. He is an alumni from ITB Civil Engineering and Doctoral Program from University of Parayangan. Professor Eko, the time is yours. You have 20 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Dian Prastiawati, for your governance, and please maybe now I will present about the implementation of Indonesian estuary dam technology. We next, yeah. Indonesian annual average of surface water availability is around 2.78 trillion cubic meters per year in 100 taken from 128 river catchment area, yeah. And then now dam capacity until 2019 based on measurements only 16.27 billion cubic meter per year. So there is a need of improvisations, of course. But first, there is still a lot of water potential that is not accommodated. Yeah, this is the problem. The main problem, not utilized and also lost through hydrological process and also flowing into the sea freely. Yeah, not to be used. Yeah. And the second is alternative reservoirs. Yeah, not only conventional reservoirs are needed to meet the current raw water needs. Yeah, which range are around 120 cubic meter per capita per year, or about 32.6 billion cubic meters per year. Okay, next. Yeah, now in Indonesia, we have 34 provinces, and about around this is 23. The capital of the provincials is located in the coastal areas. So this is a potential of the estuary to the application of estuary dam technology. The second, based on the central BPS is mean central statistic bodies. Based on statistical census in 2018, the volume of clean water that distributed to customers is around 3.8 billion cubic meters per year. It means only 10% of the population have access to clean water. Yeah, this is still problem, big problem in Indonesia. Okay, next. Sorry. Nah, so it means need innovation in the provisions of raw water to be clean water that is more efficient, of course, on distribution distance, yeah, or distribution distribution system, also the management, and of course the environmentally friendly. Now, also this is we can see the estuary dam is the suitable with the prescription. Okay, next. Yes, yeah. The concept of estuary dam. The concept of estuary dam mainly is the reduced water loss from rivers to the sea. So we catch we catch the water before before flowing to the sea, and then we can see in the right picture. Yeah, there is the comparison between first generation of coastal reservoir or estuary dam, and also between first generation of estuary dam and the second generation of estuary dam or coastal reservoir. Yeah, you can see, and of course the concept of the first generation of coastal reservoir or estuary dam and second generation of coastal reservoir, it's depend on the economic value. It may be location, management, strategic level, and also etc. Yeah, of course we apply it. We need to attention with the location and etc. And the area of dam is following the needs of raw water services. I think the area of dam or the coverage area of the dam, which we need the calculation, of course, to and suitable with the surface area. Okay, next. Yeah, this is a general design of estuary dam, yeah, in Indonesia. So the majority of estuary dam in Indonesia use the gravity dam. The second, the desalination process, of course, takes a long time. So they usually using the concept of pipes planted at the bottom of the dam to dispose of salt water slowly. And then the estuary dam in Indonesia have function for various needs such as raw water, also the preventing seawater intrusion, of course, also flood control, tourism, fisheries, and also tidal control. Also, okay, we can see the right picture, yeah, like the coastal area, gravity dam, and also around the desalination pipe, yeah, and and also salt water after the sedimented to the base on the estuary dam. So the up of the water is the fresh water. We can taken the fresh water into to distribute it in the surface area. Okay, next. Yeah, the next challenge is in Indonesia is many coastal that potential to build estuary dam. Yeah, we can see in the map. Yeah, like the points, many points. The location has a potential to build the estuary dam. The second, development priorities based on the regional strategic level. Of course, before we build the estuary dam, is of need the study, yeah, need the feasibility study in order suitable with the in the location. So the third needs the planning for more effective management. So maybe it may be to improve the system utilization, such as smart water management system. Okay, next. Yeah, yes, this is we plan the smart water management system to make service in Denpasar, Bali, yeah, Denpasar, Bali, southern Denpasar, Bali. So the entire the entire provision of clean water, from the storing intake, processing, distribution, and monitoring using information and communication technology. Yeah, we hope improve the situation, the condition of estuary dam in Bali with smart water management system. And the second, of course, we need a sharing knowledge is given to regulators, implementers, supervisors, and consumer in order to establish culture of good water utilization. Okay, the third is we hope the use of the latest technology, such as Internet of Things, remains adapted to local policies to maintain the nation cultural value. Okay. Next. Yeah, this is of so we need to improve the estuary dam in Batam, yeah, in Batam Island, to be smart water management system also. The first is smart water management system applied in Batam is a combination of geographic information system, mobile meter readings, and also leakage monitoring system, and also pressure management system, and the others. Okay. Then second, in this smart water management system utilizes an integrated technology system to meet customers' clean water needs. Not only in production and distribution units, but includes all system units, including customer service. So in Batam, the smart water management system is used to serve 219,000 customer connection. Okay, next. Yeah, we can see the. I will explain about the first generation coastal reservoir, or first generation of the estuary dam, and also the second generation of estuary dam in Indonesia. Yeah. First maybe is Duri Angkang Dam in Batam. There's a type. The first is the type is outfill dam. The volume around 100 million cubic, and the catchment area is around 2,259 hectares. Yeah, and the crest height is 10 meters, and the others, and also reservoir area is around 2,000 2,460 hectares, and the reserve function is around 3,000 liter per second. So this is a potential to service the population in around Batam. Okay, next please. And also this is also Sei Tembesi Batam. Yeah, this is a type also earthfill dam, and the volume around 56 million cubic meters, and crest height around 10 meters. So the one is the characteristic of estuary dam is the crest height is not so high. Yeah, so this is almost enough to collect the water in the estuary. And the reservoir function is around 600 liter per second. So we can imagine how many people, how many consumer to serve the estuary dams, the Sei Tembesi estuary dam. Next, please. Okay. Yeah. This is Monggak Rempang dams in Batam also. Yeah, this is a type. The type is earthfill dam also. The volume around 4 million cubic meters, and the crest height is 8 meters. So this is less than 10 meters. This is not so high then, but the reservoir area around 155 hectares, and the reservoir function is around 232 liter per second. Okay, then next please. This is a first generation coastal reservoir or estuary dams in Bali. Yeah, this is we call Nusa Dua estuary dam. The type is earthfill dam. The volume is around 770,000 cubic meters. Yeah, the crest height is 2.85 meters. This is very low, not so high the crest height, but the catchment area is rather large. Yeah, 40.95 square kilometers. Then the reservoir area only 35 hectares, but the reservoir function it's around 300 liters per second. So this is the Nusa Dua estuary dam is service in Nusa Dua service to Nusa Dua tourism area. Okay, next please. Yeah, this is the concept of Nusa Dua estuary dam. This is one of the tourism green open space in southern Bali. Yeah. Okay, next please. Yeah, okay, this is same thing. Nusa Dua estuary dam is service about South Badung or South Denpasar distribution system. This is in Nusa Dua distribution system. Okay, next. Yeah, this is we now is still study about the second generation of coastal reservoir or estuary dam second generation. We call this is will be built in the national capital or in Jakarta, around northern Jakarta, but it's still a study. We call the National Capital Integrated Coastal Development. Okay, in the study there is a 3 phase, but phase A is improvement. So before the build the estuary dam, we must the high priority include decrease the land subsidence rates, because the problem in Jakarta, in the northern Jakarta, is the land subsidence rate is rather high. Yeah, so we need to decrease the land subsidence rates by the alternative is the reduce the groundwater extraction. Yeah, And the second is strengthening and elevating the seawall, of course, and then improvement of urban drainage system. And the fourth is prevent upstream river water from entering low residential area. So this is like a polder system. We need build the polder system to reduce the flooding area and the acceleration of water sanitation in around the northern Jakarta area. And then based on the study, need also to be phase B and phase C. The first is the land subsidence is estimated not to slow down in the next few years. This is a problem. So it will take time to develop alternative other than groundwater extraction, because it may be based on the study, sea level will rise and the canals and rivers will gradually stop flowing water gravitationally into the sea. Yeah, there is a problem. Yeah, and the second, large drainage pumps, yeah, are needed, especially in the central part of North Jakarta, where the rate of the land subsidence is high. So pumping stations require like a pond, yeah, like we call polder for the temporary reservoir. Okay, in order river discharge and river discharge in the peak condition. Okay, next. Okay, this is just a little presentation for me, and we hope this situation can explain about the application of estuary dam in Indonesia. Thank you very much for your attention, and now back up to Master Ceremony. Back to Miss Dian, yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry if now we'll go to the special job today. Yeah, okay. I back to Miss Dian. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Eko.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Professor Eko, for the great insight. Professor Eko may not be able to answer you directly on the Q&A question. So if you have any pending question for Professor Eko, please do so through email correspondence. So we have two questions here from Enda Arifin Zulkarnain Siregar and Nguyen Dang from Vietnam. Professor Eko, if you have a minute, you may want to answer these two questions quickly. So Enda Arifin Zulkarnain Siregar will ask, how is planning of the central and local government is an effort to protect quality of clean water? So it was a connection of clean water consumption in the next 5 years that is sustainable. Minimal packaging will be a source of disaster multi-dimensional. Probably asking about whether it has some strategy for managing disaster conflict, for water conflict. And from Vietnam, from Nguyen Dang, he asked whether Indonesia water have a plan to use seawater as water supply, air laut untuk air baku, Pak.
Yes.
When the river dam water is getting more and more limited, what kind of technology for seawater treatment will you apply for Indonesia? Thank you. I will give it to you, Pak.
Okay, just a small answer. The estuary dam is the part of the technology to adaptation of the climate change, situation. So this is we call the environment technology also. So that's why we need application of environmental estuary dam reservoir. Estuary dam is has studied that this is suitable to supply the water to supply the water system, because in the coastal area, Yeah, because the coastal area also, storage dam also to prevent the water intrusion from the sea. I think this is a suitable technology. Yeah, okay. The storage dam is the suitable energy and also environmental technology. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. For seawater salination will be answered through email. Thank you so much, Pak Eko.
Yes. Okay.
We'll be moving on. Thank you.
Thank you. So, yes.
Yes, thank you. After we listen to Professor Eko, let's get some insight from Mr. Hajat Widagdo. Mr. Hajat Widagdo is the head of Reservoir Management, Well Water Facility and Environment from Batam Free Zone Authority, or BP Batam. He will share insights regarding Indonesia's readiness in coastal development, current challenges in Batam. Pak Hajat, the time is yours. You have 30 minutes. I'll leave it to you.
Thank you for this occasion. Ms. Dian, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I want to present Indonesia readiness in coastal development, current challenges in Batam, in Duri Angkang Reservoir, Setem Besi Reservoir, and Rempang Reservoir. I'm Hajat Widagdo from Batam Free Trade Zone Authority, BP Batam, Indonesia. Next. Next. As we know, Batam, located in the strategic location, about only 20 kilometers from Batam to Singapore, and more than 6,000 ships cross Malacca Strait. And then Batam with about 415 square kilometers in the only Batam Island, and then Batam, Rempang, and Galang, we call Barelang, is about 750 square kilometers. And the location of the island connected to the bridge that have built in Batam. Next. Next.
Yes, dear audience, I think we have a bit of technical problem. Pak Hajat will join us soon. We might have to wait a minute for this. So a little bit of insight from Pak Hajat. He is the head of Reservoir Management Raw Water Facility from BP Batam. And he will be presenting some of the management of water supply system and intake water supply system that's been done in Batam, not only the supplier, but also overall strategy made by the local government. BP Batam is a FTZ main authority that is managing everything in Batam, and it has total authority on development of infrastructure in Batam and the overall region of FTZ area. So this is a special economic zone, commonly known in Western country, and it's not just a specific area, but it covers an island and the adjacent island, which is part of the triangle between Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia. And it's meant to support hub for economic development and trade between the three countries. Pak Hajat session is specific to water resources and coastal development, that not only infrastructure for water intake, but also you might want to ask some about water supply system that's connected to the service provided by FTZ area. Hajat, let's see. Okay, we haven't been able to connect with him again. I will contact him. Okay. Pak Hajat will continue after AVK Fusion. So I think because of this technical, Mr. Head Boris will continue and we will follow through with Pak Hajat after Mr. Boris doing his presentation. Mr. Boris is the Regional Managing Director, Southeast Asia of AVK Fusion, and he will share about affordable high-quality solution for all water business. Mr. Boris, the time is yours. You have 30 minutes. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. I hope you are able to hear me. Confirmed? Ian?
Yes, we can hear you clearly, Pak Boris.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm very happy to be able to get in front of so many people from Southeast Asia. This is a good opportunity for us, you know, to ensure that everybody know and remember AVK as a good partner for the water industry. My name is Geert Boyds. I'm the Regional Managing Director for Southeast Asia in the AVK Group, and yeah, we will try to go through this here. I think I have about 30 minutes, and in that I'll try to give a little overview of the AVK Group. Then I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about where are we in Southeast Asia, and then I'll go into a little bit of products and segments understanding. And then I'm planning to finish off with our product range serving for the dams and reservoirs, which is, you know, has just been a topic here in this morning. So yeah, could you please, next slide, please. It all started AVK in 1941, just in the middle of the Second World War, and it was started by Mr. O. Valdemar Kjær. And hence that's also the name today, the three letters from his name, AVK, and that's basically what we have as a name today. Yeah, you can see it started in pretty humble housing. You can see that this is one of these typical small blacksmiths that was living around in Europe and also in Denmark at that point of time. But that's where it all started. Next one, please. Today, our company is headed by the son of the founder, Mr. Niels O. Kjær. He took over quite early on in 1970, And he is, as we speak also today, strongly heading our group from our headquarters in Denmark. The next one, please. Maybe I should just mention that we are 100% private-owned Danish company. 100% of the shares are owned by Mr. Kjær himself. So it's a very, very strong and profitable group. We have about 4,400 employees worldwide, of which I think about only 600-700 people are working in our headquarters in Denmark. We have today, I think to be exact, about 106 companies around the world. And our turnover is just below $1 billion per annum. Next, please. We are working in sort of three main divisions. So we have the AVK Water. I'll get into a little bit more in detail what that consists of on the next few slides. But and then we have AVK Advanced Manufacturing, and we have also AVK Industrial Valves. We'll go into more details now. This one, yeah. We have a main theme. We call it expect AVK, which is also serves as a commitment to our market. So we have 8 promises in our company structure. Expect quality in every step. Expect solutions, not just products. Expect lasting innovations. Expect long-term partnership. Expect total savings. Expect global leadership and local commitment. I think the enormous amount of companies we have around the world certainly expresses the local commitment very well. And expect prompt response, and expect to be effective and easy. That was sort of the main 8 promises we have to our customers and the market. You take the next one, Jan. And I think we go to the yes, that one, yeah. So you can see in Southeast Asia we have 5 main companies, and then we have a small branch in Phuket in East Malaysia. So we have our sales company in the Philippines, in Manila. We have a sales company in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City. And then we have our sales company here in Jakarta, covering Indonesia and East Timor. And then we have our sales office in Singapore. And then we have a combination of sales office and production facilities in Malaysia, where we can assemble most of the key products within water business. And we're also doing a broad range of stainless steel repair clamps for the Southeast Asia market. Next, please. I just want to take a minute to promote a new thing. We have just 6 months ago we started our first AVK Southeast Asia regional magazine. We feel that we have a lot of things to share with the market. So I decided to go ahead and make this commitment and make a magazine. So you will see if you go into our webpage, you can download it from all our web pages in the region. But you can also contact AVK and be on a mailing list if you want to receive it direct from us. It's basically an online magazine, so we are not printing anything, but it is highlighting new products, new innovations, new technologies, case stories around the region mainly, and of course organizational information, some CSR initiatives that we're carrying out, and basically a lot of other stuff as well. You can be part of the next one if you want, because we are publishing here in August in And we are trying to send this information out to all our customers and partners in the region. If you are not part of it and you want to be, please contact our local companies in your country. We go for next one. Go a little bit into to the ABK product and segments. So the next one, Dian. The first is our absolute main segment is ABK water, and in ABK water you see our water division, our wastewater handling, natural gas. We are a very big supplier of valves for the gas distribution. Particularly, we have a huge market share in Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, China. This is where there are very high demands on quality. Obviously, when you're transporting gas, which is basically simply explained similar to transporting water, just a little bit more dangerous. Then we have a full range of fire protection systems, you know, for the road hydrants and also for hydrants protecting buildings and industries. So that's basically our main areas within the water division. And if we go to the next. You can see the range within the water supply. So it consists of, and this is just a small, let's say, package of our products. Gate valves in all sort of forms and shape, butterfly valves, control valves, swing check valves, air valves, couplers, adapters, tapping saddles, repair clamps, valve accessories, hydrants, both under and above ground. And the next one, which is talking more about the waste water. Next one. Here we have different, some similar but also different range of products. Knife gate valves, butterfly valves, check valves, gate valves, air valves, pin stock. Pin stock is a very big product within wastewater treatment. Service connection, couplings, and repair clamps. A very, very broad range that would be almost impossible for me to go into in more details. But I do want to recommend you guys, if you have more interest, to go into our web page. You will be seeing in the beginning of our web pages that you have a selection program that will guide you to what sort of products you need for each applications and installations. It'll simply come up with some suggestions for you. So that I can recommend you to go in and have a look at. We go next, Jan. I just want to highlight on a couple of products that are not so popular now in Southeast Asia, but in Europe, this is the big thing. They simply install a lot of these resilient seated gate valves in the water distribution without, you know, the flanges and couplers. We simply have valves that are coming with, including PE ends, so that you can weld it direct on your PE pipes. I will tell you that all our growth in Europe is basically on this product when we're talking about gate valves. And we're trying to get them introduced here in Southeast Asia as well. The valve itself costs a little bit more, but you save a lot on the connections. And of course, you have all these advantages also using this type here, because you much easier to connect it. You don't have a big risk of leakage, you know. Non-revenue water is extremely important here in this part of the world, also where we are struggling with some huge losses that we are not able to invoice and get income from. So if you have a solution like this here, you simply have very little risk of leakage. And also in Southeast Asia, we see a lot of, okay, we have all these natural catastrophes like earthquakes and earth movements, you know, and because of all the water coming down, sometimes we have underground soil movements. And if you have systems like this here, you're not going to break it because, you know, all of you know that the PE pipe is very flexible. And of course, even the system here can hang up in the air. It's not going to take any damage. So it's a very good system. And I'm pretty sure you'll have great success here in Southeast Asia as well, where, by the way, many countries are really getting into the PE pipe installation. It is a little bit more expensive on capital cost, but the repair and maintenance is so much less than if you're using many other type of pipes. So many projects we see now are moving into PE as well. And by the way, just as a little appetizer, we are now developing the first gate valve in PE material. And that will be very interesting when that's coming, because, you know, that takes out the problem that you might have, you know, with corrosion and so on in the future. All right, we call it S36. The next one, which is also a relatively new product for us here, we have cross flanges, you know, which makes your installation much easier when you have to branch off in different directions. And we also have this solution here coming with all the gate valves on all four sides, so that it's fully ready to install and connect to all your pipes. Something that we don't see with any of our competitors, that availability. All right, next one, Jan. We have a full range of electrofusion fittings. This is from our UK company called Fusion. We are also selling this a lot in Southeast Asia. Here in Indonesia, for example, we are very strong for the household gas connection projects that are being developed at the moment. We are sitting on something like 50% of that market, and that means from the gas main line into the to the household, into the gas meters. We are a preferred supplier of our fittings for that type also. But again, also here, as the market is growing for PE pipes in the water distribution, we're also selling a lot of fittings for that as well. So the next one, we come to advanced manufacturing. So this is a little bit, like we say, an interesting one, because here we have one of our main supplier, actually the ABK Gomi AS, which is the rubber manufacturing. all our rubber compound are produced in Denmark. We are not even sending this out to be produced anywhere else, because this is one of the key elements in the strength of the ABK valve. That is the rubber that I use. This is without any doubt the best rubber in any valve you can get in the market, and I think our customers will agree with that. But we also have other interesting things. For example, in Holland, in Denmark, we collect recyclable plastic, and we are producing pallets, glass pallets, and this is such a successful business. We simply cannot get enough plastic for the market demand for that type of pallets. So we're producing an enormous amount of pallets in those two countries, and again, we can't get enough plastic. I'm sure we could collect some plastic out here in Asia, but the transport is making it a little bit difficult. But maybe we need to look at producing those out here in Southeast Asia as well. We also have a supply of very, very small, tiny bits of rubber, which are supplied for many of the big hearing aid manufacturers. So we're talking about these small things that come into your hearing aid. We're also producing those rubber things, which is very, very high tech. So a funny little segment we have here as well. The next one, yeah. Am I back on? Still on? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, great.
You might want to make it closer to, yes.
I think I might have trusted it. So we're back on, that's good. Then we have just a quick slide on our industrial valves. I know this is a water event, but as we all aware of, some of the biggest consumer of water are the industries. So of course, many of the water utilities are supplying water for the industry as well. And we have a big range of products that are going into the specialized industrial segment. For typical power generation, pulp and paper, oil and gas, marine, dams and reservoirs, very important for this one. And we have that under our industrial valves, and that's because most of those valves that are used there are sort of more industrialized valves, usually quite big and complex. Mining, slurry, cement, a lot of different industries with a lot of different valves, as you probably can imagine. Every time you have to move liquid of some sort, you need to have some valves as well. So many, I think we have more or less 30 brands under the name of AVK, but they are all successful in their own, even though they're owned by AVK, they're still successful with their own brand. All right, next slide, please. Am I off again? Okay, back on. Fire protection, very important segment for us as well. We're not only talking fire protection in hydrants outside on the road, but also for major buildings, inside buildings, protection of oil and gas businesses and factories, and of course inside the factories also a lot of them are equipped with fire protection equipment, and we play a big role in this here. We produce the fire products in 3 different countries in the United States and Poland and Saudi Arabia. So these are also some of the main, let's say, oil and gas businesses, and ULFM approval is very important in many of these businesses. So we're sort of having these 3 manufacturing plants over the world. The next slide, please. So the products, we're talking all types of barrels and valves, hydrants, and also different components in it. We go to the next slide.
Excuse me, Mr. Your sound is cracking, so you might want to check the microphone connection to the cable, or yes.
No, it's not there's not cable. So is it better now?
Okay, thank you. So it's cracking, so we cannot listen to you clearly.
Is it better now? No, not really.
No.
Okay. But we move on. Does it help if I speak louder?
Maybe just a little bit slower, because I think it's a microphone.
Okay. Is this helping? Is it helping?
Yes, yes.
All right, so we move in next to actually a separate segment called ICV, indoor climate valves, and this is the full range of valves that we have for the building services. Again, not good.
No. Maybe you can change to wire mic.
Yeah, I think so. Let me just try here. Can you try to help me to change it? If I take it to here. A minute, yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I think everyone's agreed. There's a Zoom sessions always have some quirk in it. No worries.
Is it better now? You want me to change to? What about now?
It's still distorted. Yes.
I'm not sure what to do. Can I get it over to the computer? Let's do that then. Take it out from the speakers here, right? This one here, right?
Can you please try mute it and unmute it?
Hello. Is that better with the sound? I honestly, I
It's
don't
still
know.
distorted.
Everything is bad. Maybe because I got my second vaccine last night, so maybe it's taking the effects on the voice as well. All right, I think. And the next one. And the next one. here you can see that we have in ABK a lot of product approvals from different countries. So I don't think you can find any approvals in the water and industry that we cannot comply with. So this is just to mention it very briefly. So please change to the next slide. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Hello.
We have a halal approval rubber as the only one in the world. This is important for many of our markets, and of course we are working with water, so halal approval is also appropriate when you're using valves right for your water supply and water distribution. Some customers are starting to require it, and we are now able to supply it. And I don't know anybody else in the market that are actually able to supply this. Jan, can you go to the next one, please? Now I'll try to go in and give a brief information about the dams and reservoir. And I want to stress here before I start that this will be brief, but if you have interest in dams and reservoirs, I know here in Indonesia we are developing a lot of new reservoirs, dams and reservoirs. There's a lot being built at the moment, but also a lot in the planning stage. So some of you might want to hear more about that, and then I will urge you to take contact to any of our companies in the region. But here, just a brief information and introduction of what we can actually provide into dams and reservoirs. The next one, Jan, please. So dams functions, as we see it, clean water reservoirs, power plants, flood controls, irrigation. So actually a lot of the dams that are being built and planned for at the moment has sort of a multi-purpose usage, so that they're not only used for clean water, but they are also used for power stations, for cooling water. They're using to act as a flood control, and also for irrigation. So you can imagine when you have a dam and reservoir project, you also tend to have a lot of other opportunities in terms of valves. So that's why this segment is very important for us as well. Next slide, please. Different applications, bottom outlets, systems. So they're all different, of course. So depending on the design, we use different products, obviously. Spillways and canals. And when you're talking the product range, you can see here, this is quite, next slide, Jan, please. You can see this is a quite different product portfolio to the one you saw for general water, or at least the valves are getting a lot bigger, sometimes really big. So we have products like slanted seat check valves, needle control valves, automatic control valves, air valves, spherical valves, pre-discharge valves, submerged discharge valves, fabricated butterfly valves, high pressure butterfly valves. So we have a lot of these things, and we have capacities around the world to actually supply a lot of these here.
You have 1 minute, Pak.
Sorry?
You have 1 more minute.
1 more minute. That's
Yes.
all I need.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also going into knife game.
Mr. Gert, we lost you here. We cannot hear you. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
We on again, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, if you change the slide, please. I think we managed to get through this here. Can you just go to the next one? And we can leave that screen on for a little while here, because this is a chance for people to note down if they want to get in contact with us in the individual countries. I should probably mention that from our operation in Malaysia, we are also servicing countries like Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and others in the region where we don't have a company established. So just to let you know, I am really sorry about the technique in this here. This has been a pretty bad start for us here, but I hope that at least you saw the slides and were able to read. If you couldn't hear me, I am so sorry about that. But hopefully you got something out of it. AVK is ready to serve you out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gert. We are pleased to hear that presentation from AVK Fusion, our sponsor. And now we will move on, go back to Mr. Hajat Widagdo. We will start on from what we left off. Pak Hajat, you may continue and proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. San. Thank you for this occasion. Good morning. I'm Hajat Widagdo from Batam Free Trade Zone Authority, BP Batam, Indonesia. And I want to present Indonesia's readiness in coastal development, current challenges in Batam, Duri Angkang Reservoir, Sei Tembesi Reservoir, and Rempang Reservoir. Please next. Next. Batam have the strategic location, and the location near Singapore, about 20 kilometers, and more than 60,000 ships cross the Malacca Strait near the Batam Island. And Batam with about 415 square kilometers, and Barelang, Batam, Rempang, and Galang Island that connected the bridge about 715 square kilometers. Please next. Our coastal reservoir always protected with the regulation. The first we call a master plan from 1972 until 2001, and then we changed to the presidential decree number 87 2011, and now in 2021 in regional decree number 3 2031 on Batam Master Plan. And the coastal reservoir always protected in the protected area, not the development area. So this to we can to maintain our coastal reservoir from 1972 until now. Please next. Now implementation on government regulation number 41 2021. The government regulation number 4121 is the strategic policy for managing free trade zone and free port of Batam, Bintan, and Karimun to improve the investment ecosystem and enhance economic growth opportunity and regional competitiveness. So for the water availability, we make cooperation between Batam Island, Bintan Island, and Karimun Island. I think this is our challenge, our opportunity to make the security of water for the next time. Please next. We have a few infrastructure in Batam Island, free trade zone, like Hang Nadim International Airport Batam, seaport, electrical power supply, expansion BP Batam Hospital, road infrastructure, Barelang Bridge, internet and telecommunication, IT center, and 7 operated and 2 development progress water reservoir. Please next. And we have industrial estate, about 26 industrial estate, and the industrial need more about 30% from the water availability in Batam. So this is our very important to availability water for industries for the competitiveness area industry. Next, please. Another influence to the availability of water to provide to the Batam free trade zone is the population and workforce. Now, in 2020, the population in Batam about 1,000 and more than 1,400 people. Next, please. As I mentioned before, Batam Island, Setoko, Rempang Island, Galang, and Galang Baru connected with the Barelang Bridge. We have the bridge that connected the island. Our coastal reservoir can transfer the water, the raw water or the clean water to the another island using the connected from Barelang Bridge. Next, please. We're talking about coastal reservoir. Next. Our fresh water total volume about 151, more than 151,000 meter cubic. And our water treatment plant design, we have 4,682 liters per second, and total capacity now about 3,850 liters per second, and operational in 3,600 liters per second. Next. Freshwater supply that we present now, we're talking about in the circle, the orange circle, the first coastal reservoir, Duri Angkang, Setam Besi, and Rempang in the Rempang Island. Next, please. The development of the coastal dam, like Duri Angkang, Setam Besi, and Rempang, in this case, Duri Angkang, the process we start from the community resettlement. Community resettlement from the catchment area and the reservoir area. So after we make the resettlement, we try to clean up the location of reservoir and catchment area. And then we make the pilot dike to development platform with sand and earth fill until height of plus level. Next, we make please slide before. Dam complementary building we develop like a permanent bottom outlet, intake tower, and spillway. The desalination, we install an uploading pipe at diameter 800 millimeter, and desalination process running from this pipe. We make a cutoff wall to protect infiltration. So installing the diaphragm wall with cement bentonite slurry is about the width about 80 centimeter, and the depth according the situation in the location, maybe 15 meter and 20 meter sector. And the last, we install the instrumentation for monitor the behavior of the dam. We using piezometer, inclinometer, surface movement, and phenots. Next, please. Next. This is the picture. So the Duriangkang Reservoir, coastal reservoir. In the right side is our reservoir, and the left side is the sea. So this is the biggest coastal reservoir in Batam that serve about 70% the availability of raw water in Batam. We look in the left side, two building. This is the permanent bottom outlet that operate with the spillway together. In the reservoir side, we call the inlet tower, and the outside we call the outlet tower. And then the right side, we have the intake. So the intake transfer the water to the water treatment plant that produces 2,200 liters per second. We call the Duriangkang water treatment plant. Please, next. We saw three pictures on the left side. We look. This is the spillway location that I said before. We operate together with the permanent bottom outlet, and then in the middle, it is the map of the Duriangkang coastal reservoir. Duriangkang coastal reservoir located in the middle of the center of the Batam Island, and dam is about 952 meters and in length, and we have a reservoir area about 2,460, and consists the storage about 101.2 million meter cubic. Next, please. Next, please. This is Tembesi coastal reservoir, and the left side is a reservoir side, and the right side the seaside. And we see in the seaside the vegetation of mangrove around the island in the middle. We call this is Dongkol Island. This is Dongkol Island, the island that we connect from the dam, and then from the Batam side, and then the next the PIU side. We saw the inlet tower for the permanent bottom outlet, and then the right side we saw the outlet tower. And then in the outlet tower, from the bottom permanent bottom outlet, we make a special structure to make slow for the water flow to the sea, because the fishermen maybe have a problem if we open the gate of the permanent bottom outlet. Next, please. In the left picture, we saw the spillway, the spillway of the Tembesi, and then in the middle is the catchment area of the Tembesi Coastal Reservoir, and the right picture is about the spill of Tembesi around the length about 30 meter, and Tembesi have the storage about 56.820 million meter cubic, and the crest height about plus 10 meter, and the length about 2016 meter. Tembesi Dam is the longest dam in Batam for coastal reservoir. Please next. Next. Coastal reservoir, the last that I want to present in this occasion, we call Rempang Reservoir. The coastal reservoir, we look at the picture on the right side, the reservoir side, and the sea side in the left. And we look in the picture the vegetation, the mangrove vegetation to protect the dam is very good to overcome and protect from abrasion to the dam. Next, please. We saw in the picture the Rempang Reservoir. In the left picture, we saw in the left side is the sea, and the right side the coastal reservoir of Rempang Island. And in the middle, we saw in the map our catchment area that protected from the regulation, and then in the right side intake tower that located in the reservoir site. And we have about 4,500 meter cubic, the capacity of storage Rempang Reservoir. Next, please. Now about the benefit of coastal reservoir, and of course that together with the challenges. Next, please. We have a benefit to reduce land when we build the coastal reservoir, because we saving land utilization by not using the on-land on-land reservoir, and we promote more oxygen and carbon sink during photosynthesis. Trees and plants absorb carbon from the atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide and process into become oxygen. As the tree grows, they store carbon in their trunk, branches, roots, and leaves. Catchment area in coastal reservoir have functioned like urban forests that conserve energy by shading and cooling home and building, increase the air quality, reduce water consumption by reducing landscape watering needs, and increasing atmospheric moisture. So the vegetation in the catchment area reduce water runoff and soil erosion by breaking rainfall and holding soil. Of course, we have the biodiversity if we protect the forest in the catchment area that refer to the range of life form and species that exist within a given ecosystem. Tropical rainforests are some of the most biologically diverse ecosystem. And of course, the coastal reservoir give the availability of water that provide more clean water for the reservoir, because filtration from the natural came from the vegetation. Next, please. And we have the opportunity of the coastal reservoir, the first clean energy. We using floating photovoltaics, that reservoir can become a place to produce clean energy, such as floating photovoltaics, where it can provide electricity for people. Another, ecotourism. Forest as ecotourism can provide local community with motivation to maintain and protect forests and wildlife. Next, please. But monitoring of the catchment area is very important because potential risk of pollution, as there is no intensive cultivation, the risk of pollution from the agriculture is not significant, like pesticide and herbicide. But now we have the challenges like the illegal farmer, and another. So we should overcome it. The main risk, another from the industry and human presence related to this industrial activity. Pollution control arrangement to provide for the catchment area protection, pollution control for the protection of Juri Angkang Reservoir is a matter of great concern, and appropriate measure must be taken as possible to maintain the quality of water. It is clear that all areas we hope still free of human settlement must be kept as they are in the future. Any new installation must be strictly forbidden. In particular, all permanent housing in forest area should be avoided, forbidden. All dumping of waste should be forbidden to maintain the quality of water in our coastal reservoir. Next, please. The challenges come from the quality of water, that as an inflow to the water in the storage. So we make a few effort to overcome it, like the sand trap trash track. Sand trap was used to trap sand that going to water, so it will gather on one point and cannot go to the water. And trash rack used to prevent floating and particular debris from clogging stormwater outlet control structure. Another, we make a sewage system to overcome the sewage from the household to provide a good quality water, and can even prevent flood because it can deliver water to another place. And now we have a project, but only 200 liters per second in the center of Batam. We have the vegetation in the surface of the reservoir we call hycin. In Indonesia we call eceng gondok, and another semalu. The vegetation like hycin will reduce the amount of water, so it needs to be clean for a better water environment system. And for this duty, we use the wheat harvester, like in the picture shown, the orange one. So we can harvest the eceng gondok or hycin, and then we clean step by step to maintain our quality of water. Sedimentation in the reservoir or the drainage system can reduce the capacity on the reservoir to save the water. So they are needed to have a dredger to dredge the sediment on the reservoir to maintain the storage of the coastal reservoir. Next, please. Recovery action, maybe we have a few, like trees plantation. And the tree plantation, we can reduce the amount of stormwater runoff with reduced erosion and pollution in our waterways, and may reduce the effect of flooding. And the trees plantation we make, we do by government, and another we make a cooperation with the industries to maintain the catchment area. In the dry season, we have a problem about our storage. So we make the modification with the technology, and the most common form of weather modification is cloud seeding, which increase rain, usually for the purpose of the increasing the local water supply. This ever happen in Batam when we have the dry season more than 8 months. So we using the modification weather technology to overcome the problem. Next, please. The next challenge is the encroachment location at Duri Angkang protected forest, the catchment area, because the illegal people make the illegal action to cut down the trees, and then make the location for settlement and another, and then we have to make effort to stop the action, the activity, and then we should make a plantation to remedy the situation of the catchment area. Next, please. Another, we have a problem and challenges in the forest fire land in Duri Angkang catchment area. When the dry season, the illegal farmer using the location to make a farm, and then for the easy open the location, they make the fire land, and then this is we make the low force for the farmer, and we try to plantation again. Next, please. This is the case in another reservoir in Batam, because if we cannot overcome the catchment area problem from the illegal occupation, the problem may be like in this picture. We have the bad quality of water and the hygiene, almost half of the reservoir. And then the quality of water, of course, getting worse and make problem. And now the reservoir, we cannot utilize effectively. Next, please. To manage the security of the Duri Angkang Reservoir, particularly in catchment area with the reservoir, we make the 3 zones. The first is core zone in the storage or the water side, and then buffer zone. The buffer zone area about 500 meters from the edge of surrounding the water, and then transition zone in the yellow area, the area that we can make the activity, but very strictly to maintain the catchment area. Next. For
Hajat, you have 1 minute.
Okay.
You have 1 more minute.
Okay. For smart water management initiative, we need to revert to integrated water resources management. Next, please. And Batam need 7,000 liter per second in 2045. So we need more water. Next, please. In the Batam Integrated Total Water Management, we have 4 sources of water, came from the storm water, the coastal reservoir or on land reservoir, desalination plant, and recycled wastewater. Next, please. Yes, we protect from this heaven shortage of water during the dry season or the climate change problem. Okay, thank you for this presentation. Thank you. I give the time to Miss Dian again.
Thank you so much, Pa, for a wonderful presentation. So we are going to move on to Q&A. I'm very sorry for the previous technical delay for Mr. Horit. I hope you can answer more, explain more in the question and answer session. We have approximately 15 minutes for Q&A. From the list of attendees, we have very much able to gather several questions for Mr. Hajat and several more questions for Mr. Khed. So I will move on to a question that we compiled for attendance. There are at least, I will start with 2 questions for Mr. Hajat and then 2 questions for Mr. Khed. The first 2 questions for Mr. Hajat. So anonymous, he asked whether any experience with the water in these dams during drought season in Indonesia. And second is Iwan Hujayanto. He is asking is how much the coverage, berapa luasan sumber air reservoir that's delineated directly with the sea, and how many liters that could be used for consumption. Are they just limited to Batam and its surrounding neighborhood? And for Mr. Khed, it's that we have 2 questions. One is from Khairiri Agrani. So your topic mentioned affordable. How much is affordable with regards to the GDP per capita income in the various Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries? And from Krishna Kustina, how do we know that the material of your company product in great condition before installed? Would you like to inform us the certification or license from authorized institution, perhaps specific to Indonesia, Pak, regarding to your company product? Thank you. I'll leave to Pak Hajat first to answer, and then Pak Khed could follow through.
Sorry for the first question. May you repeat again?
Yes, Pak Hajat. The first question, do we have any experience with the water in dams, in 3 of these dams during drought season? Jadi kalau musim kemarau, ada pengalaman apa yang terjadi dengan damnya ini, Pak?
Baik, terima kasih. Thank you. In the dry season, I have told in the presentation, we have a dry season about the 8 months, and then the water level in the storage of our coastal reservoir and on land reservoir have decreased significantly. So we make one rationing. Rationing is we make a rotation of using water if we have a very little in our storage. And then the second, we make the modification weather modification technology to make artificial rain, and then to overcome in the dry season. Okay. And then the second, from Iwan Wijayanto, asked about the covering of the area to save the water, to availability of water is in Batam Island. We have the area about 30% of the Batam Island. So this is consists of the catchment area and the land, the surface of the reservoir. And the third, please, Miss Dian, please repeat the question.
Yes, berapa liter yang dapat disalurkan untuk dikonsumsi? How many liters could be distributed for consumption? Is it just for Batam or across all the region, Barelang and other area?
Yeah, for Batam now we sell in Batam about 3,000 more than 3,000 liter per second. Precisely 3,600 liter per second for all Batam Island.
Yes, thank you, Pak. We can continue to Mr. Kurt Moritz to the questions.
So as I understood it, there were two questions. The first question was about affordability compared to GDP.
Yes.
In the Southeast Asian countries. We don't really compare it to GDP. What we compare it to is to our competitors. And yes, we are very competitive to our competitors in the region, and particularly when you are talking about the quality of the products, because we are the only manufacturer on standard valves that give 10 years warranty. 10 years warranty. So I think that speaks of everything. So what we mean with affordability is, of course, that we are compared to our competitors, we are affordable. I would go as far as saying, if you look at a lifetime span for our products, we are probably the absolute cheapest valve in the world, because we last simply so long time. We had a funny situation here. We looked at replacement of some valves in a dam in East Java. And what we discovered there was that it was our valves installed in 1933. So here, 90 years after, they were looking for replacement. I think that's a little bit of a funny story that really smack bang tells about our quality of our valves. I'm not sure if that explains exactly what it was, but we're not comparing up against the GDP, more about our competitors, yeah. The second one was about how do NVK ensure that the product is fit and in good shape for installation. So of course in NVK we're following all approvals and standards, you know, that are in the business. And on top of that, most of our valves, they actually leave the factory tested. So that means, you know, that they should be fit for installations and without any issues on the installation. And of course, they come with the installation manual, so it's important, you know, to follow the installation manual when you are installing the valves. Thank you.
Thank you, Park. So we still have 5 minutes, and I would like to give 3 more questions. This is directly to Pak Hajat. One is from Wilson Sutanto. According to some sources, Jakarta is sinking and will be partially submerged around 2030. Is this true? So this is a big question. We also would like to know. If so, is there any solution or mitigation being implemented? So because it's Jakarta and Pak Hajat is in Batam, it might be more appropriate to ask this to Prof. Eko. So we will hold that. The second question from RBC Water Malaysia. How do you fill the estuary reservoir with fresh water? Is it through rain harvesting? You mentioned desalination. Is it an active process and is it through natural desalination? And the second one is, how is coastal reservoir management? Indonesia is also a country facing many natural disasters. How these disasters impact accessing to clean water from this reservoir? The time to you, Pak Haji. Pak Haja. Okay, we might have lost your voice, Pak Haja. You may want to unmute your connection, Pak Haja. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Maybe please repeat this the second question and the third question. The second question, please.
The second question is, how is the coastal reservoir management? Indonesia is also a country facing many natural disasters such as hurricanes, earthquakes, and tsunamis. How have these disasters impacted the access to clean water from these reservoirs and other sources in your country?
Okay, thank you for the question. As we know, Batam Island have no not in the location of the disaster like in Java and Sumatra. So Batam, our coastal reservoir, have until now have no problem significantly come from the disaster. So we have no eruption and nada. This is the condition of the coastal reservoir in Batam Island. And next for the question number 1.
Yeah, how do you feel the estuary fresh water? Is it through rain harvesting? Is there in desalination? Is it an active process or is it through natural desalination?
Yeah, in the coastal reservoir, we have the quality water like the fresh water, because the desalination process we make from the first time. This about the 3 years to desalination process, and after that the reservoir, the coastal reservoir, consists the fresh water like the rainwater. So no problem for the quality, and the salinity is very low, and the quality of water river to the quality that need from the water treatment.
Okay, we have 2 more minutes, Pak, to answer. There are more questions for Pak Hajat, if you don't mind. So we have from Alan Toll asking, for reservoir treatment, has Batam decided when the projects will take place? I think in the slide is clear. It's already been built. Maybe you can add more to that, Pak. And another is from Daisy J. What does recycled wastewater used for industrial or agriculture? I think, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dian. Maybe like Duri Angkang Reservoir, we built from the 1993 and then finished in the beginning of 2000, the year of 2000. Okay, and like Ms. Dian said, the time of build, and we use the reservoir follow in our presentation. And the second about the recycled water, the function to protect the coastal reservoir, our coastal reservoir Duri Angkang, from the sewage that flow to the storage of the coastal reservoir. And then the water we provide to the industry, and then we can transfer to the coastal reservoir to the availability of water. Okay, because the recycled water not to consume directly, because the quality well, we need transfer to the coastal reservoir, and then we have the decomposition process, and then the water can use as a water treatment plant need for the quality and quality and the capacity of the water. Okay, Ms. Dian.
Wonderful answer, Pa. Even though we have such a short moment to think about this question, and it might be a little bit awkward answering this through small screen, but we are grateful to have our both speaker here and previously Professor Eko. So, in summary, I will try to conclude our event for today. We also, before we end this session, we like to thank our speakers and everyone who participated. We appreciate your time and expertise on today's topic. In conclusion, Professor Eko gives us a highlight of the emerging development of infrastructure for coastal water reservoirs, including the first generation and the second generation estuary dam, and already built in Batam and Bali and planned for North Jakarta. And Pak Hajat highlights us on the role of FTZ authority in Batam to build infrastructure in Batam, Barelang, and Rempang for specifically the development of coastal water reservoir and smart water technology, and dams in Duri Angkang, Setembesi, and Rempang. We have challenges, of course, and there are monitoring process and modification, and we also have positive result through the application of coastal water reservoir to safeguard water quality and include the protection of fresh water in the region. And excellent presentation for our sponsor, AVK, Mr. Gert Boris. This is a privately owned, 100% privately owned Danish companies with strong 40,400 employees worldwide. We have 100 companies in the world and services in Southeast Asia, in Jakarta, East Timor, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, and the Philippines. And highlighted also by Mr. Gert, you have a halal approved products for rubber components. So this is quite new to our radar. And thank you so much for 3 of our speakers. I will see you again in another talk series on behalf of our speakers, Pamerindo Indonesia and Informa Markets. I'm Dian Prastiawati. We are signing off. Thank you so much for your time, and okay. Thank you, Pak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Peace be upon you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.